Broadcasting live.
She's doing it right now. We're good. Thank you. Bye, Ty.
Wait. Oh, fuck. Okay, let me restart. It's okay. It is totally okay.
Beep, boop, bop. I am running on like 12 minutes of sleep.
I know, girl. You've been working a lot recently.
I've been working my tail off.
How do you get up every morning and like motivate yourself literally to get up every day? Because it's not like you just go to work. You go to work, but then you also are involved in so many other things.
Yeah, and I think people look at my job and they're like, oh, it's just food, but it's not.
No, yeah.
Honestly, I am so thankful for my dog, Fish.
Yeah.
Because Fish, like, I'm responsible for another living being, right? Mm-hmm. Like, and if I don't take Fish out, he's gonna poop and pee in my apartment, and I don't want that space. That's like more time away from me.
Yeah.
But so like it's really nice that I have Fish, but also like everything that I am involved in, I genuinely enjoy.
Yeah.
You know, and there's definitely like some days that I'm like, oh man, like it's gonna be a long day, or oh man, I don't have the energy today. But I don't like people talk about like the Monday blues.
Yeah.
I don't get that.
I'm
like excited to go to work. I love my job.
Exact way.
I love my job.
On Mondays, it feels like a fresh new start. Like, yes, I get up. I feel like Mondays are actually my best days.
Right. And so then like on class, at my job, we meet on Tuesdays.
Okay.
And so like Tuesdays, like Mondays are kind of like either I take the day off because we just did a bunch of work the weekend before because we do events. Events happens on weekends typically. So Monday is either like a day off or I go in and I'm like catching up on a few things and like I don't have like the heaviest of workload. And Tuesday morning we start 9 a.m. with our meeting with our full team. Yeah. And we do a debrief and we move forward. And so like Tuesdays are kind of like the official start of my week. Yeah. But Monday helps me ease into that. But I don't ever really feel like the work
like
blues.
You're like, that's amazing.
I get tired.
Yeah. No, that's amazing to hear.
I'm tired.
Because a lot of people, they do struggle with that. Right. Like, oh man, I got to get up. It's another week. So that's dope. But hello, everyone. Welcome back to the THEYSELF Girl Chat podcast. We are in a different space. It looks completely different. Mm-hmm. We have moved. And so welcome, a fresh new start. And it's not Monday. Only that, it's Monday. And not only that, my official co-host is here with me, Claire. So now it's Mona and Claire.
I'm so excited.
THEYSELF Girl Chat podcast.
I'm so excited to be here. I think the last podcast that we recorded in the warehouse, we were still just becoming friends. Really, at that point. We were like grounding really ourselves. We were developing this new friendship, and I think like we just sat down and we just kept talking. Yeah. And at the end of that, you and Tyler were like, "Wow, that was the longest podcast," and we still had so much content to talk about. Yeah, and like. So then we just started hanging out more and more as friends. And then we would like be having these deep conversations and we would be like, where is the microphone? Yeah. Where is the camera? Where's the microphone? Like, why aren't we recording right now? Exactly. And so then when you approached me with the offer of like, would you be interested? It was a no-brainer to me. Yeah. Because I'll be totally honest. I myself would never start a podcast. Yeah. Like it's just not something that I ever thought I would be interested in. Yeah. Not something that like I physically know how to do. Yeah. And so, you know, it's exciting for me to learn and it's exciting for me to be here because I never thought this would be an opportunity for me. And so like, first thing first, I love working with my friends and you and I work very well together. Yes, we do. We work super well together. And that's one thing I'm extremely thankful for. Yeah, no kidding. It's so refreshing to have that dynamic. Yeah, and I was just going to say that too, how like, I'm just extremely thankful. Like I'm very picky when it comes to people like coming into like my space in my circle and stuff. And like, again, with you, it feels like a no-brainer. Like I feel like we have really great conversation and we've been building our relationship personally and business-wise. And it's always like this morning, when I was talking with you on the phone, I was like, I truly like respect and value your input like a lot. And I don't with a lot of people. I'm going to be honest. Like I'm very, I'm very picky. Fine. And like, I just like how we're really able to have like open dialogue and just talk about anything and everything. And one thing too, when we're in conversation, like for instance, there was this one time we were talking about politics. I'm not going to go into it, but you never made me feel stupid in that conversation when I was like asking questions and stuff because I'm not very knowledgeable when it comes to that. And that's one thing I appreciate about you. You're not like,
you should know this. Like you're just so like, I don't know. I just love it. So I'm happy to have you as the co-host.
I'm
girl.
so
like,
happy to be here.
I really am.
It's like Extracurricular and Mona time.
I know.
So it's so fun for me. Like this isn't work for us, which I think is so exciting.
Yeah.
And again, like we're excited to do this. It's not like, oh, I have to go record a podcast with Mona.
like
I get to go record a podcast with
I know.
Mona,
I'm this.
And that's fun.
I was looking forward to today for like the last week. Where I'm like,
I know.
yes,
we put it on the calendar. We put it on the Google Calendar, and we were like, hell yes.
Yes,
we gotta like
I know.
spend time together. We gotta eat some Bagel Boy is what we're eating today.
Speaking of this is so freaking good.
I
love Bagel Boy. I mean, I've never had it, but like, hey.
I'm so happy to be taking your Bagel Boy virginity.
I know.
If I'm being honest, I have taken a lot of people's Bagel Boy virginities. It is so affordable. There are 2 locations here. It is so good. It's local. And
Is it local? I was gonna ask
It is local.
yeah.
And I was talking to you about how like over the years, because I used to go there in high school, like over the years, their prices have gone up like maybe $1 or $2. So like it's so easy to support a good local business that's fair in their pricing. It's so easy. So hit up Bagel Boy. Sausage Breakfast Boy is my personal favorite. But today I really wanted their veggie cream cheese. All their cream cheese is made in-house.
Wait, what is that on your cream cheese?
Veggie cream cheese. It's you want to try a bite?
That's okay.
Okay. She don't like vegetables?
It's because I don't want to get you sick, girl. Like,
oh, that's true.
I'm getting over my sickness, guys. So if I cough over here, don't
you
mind
should
me.
try their. Just take that. I just got cream cheese on your hand. You should try their cream cheese. They make their cream cheese in-house.
So I have a question for you. How's your dating life going? Like, honestly. No, for real. Like, I want to know. Like,
yeah, my dating life. So I'm a single woman.
Okay.
We had talked previously in the other podcast about how I was engaged and I moved back to Sioux Falls and I was in a short-term relationship after my engagement had ended. But then I just started, trying to open myself up, and I was in a situationship, which was a little toxic, and it was just not a good dynamic. But so then I just
go through
truly
those.
told myself like, Claire, download Tinder, download Hinge. Like,
wait, when did you do this? When did you download Tinder? Like recently, right?
So like I go on and off of it.
Really? Okay.
So Tinder bothers me.
Okay. One fun fact: I've never downloaded any of those type of dating
gosh,
apps. So how is it? No, like.
So
for the people that are listening, maybe they've never downloaded that.
So
app.
Tinder.
Yeah.
So Tinder for me is very different for Tinder for other people. I think a lot of dating apps are. And so you have to go into it with like to each their own. So like when I was on, you know me, I don't share myself physically with a lot of people. I don't share my time with a lot of people. And so like I went into Tinder hoping to find people with the intentions similar to mine, but not everybody is that way. Sometimes people will message you and just be like, hey, I want to hook up, and that's totally fine. That is a fair
That's
game
what
to
I think
play.
of when I think of Tinder.
Right. I think Tinder is a bit more hookup culture. So I will say that when I was on Tinder, I had I matched with a handful of gentlemen, more than a handful, but I matched with a handful of gentlemen.
Yeah.
And out of that category, there were. This is so funny because recently I had a roster of 6 men.
Okay. I remember you.
I'm exclusively dating someone now. So I've been like actively dating and seeing the same person for 4 weeks. Yeah. We are not dating. But we're not boyfriend girlfriend, but we're actively seeing each other. We're exclusively seeing each other, and that's just what we agreed upon. Yeah. And it's different, but there was like a roster of like 6 men. Yeah. And. Yeah. And some of them I also saw on Hinge. So I downloaded Tinder. And I also downloaded Hinge at the same time. Yeah. Once I realized that Tinder was very hookup culture, I then put more of my energy into Hinge. Hinge is designed to create relationships. So Hinge, like there's many more prompts.
Do you have to pay for it?
No, but you can. You can pay for like extra gold or whatever. Yeah. I'm going to re-download these so I can show you.
Yeah, honestly, I would never because you're married. I'm married.
Right.
Even...
like I never wear. You want to wear this, right?
I never wear my ring, guys. Right.
But you're married, so it's different.
A whole nother subject.
I had a roster of 6 men. This is so bad. Yeah. But like they all actively knew that I was single and that I was doing whatever I was doing. So there were 2 people from Tinder that I was 3 people from Tinder that I was genuinely interested in. Yeah. One of them is my friend Chris, and Chris and I got together. Oh, wow. And I told you about this. We got together. Yep. We met up for drinks, and we were talking and we were hanging out, and like it was definitely a friendly date. But we reconnected, and I love my friend Chris, and he's so fun, and he's so much fun to be around. And we've like established that it is strictly platonic between the 2 of us. It's weird how much we have in common. No, it's weird. Like, we both drowned twice as kids.
Oh wow!
Like why we're both on National Latter-day Saints
stuff? Okay,
we're both on National Latter-day Saints calls list, which are Mormons.
Oh wow!
Right, which is fine. Yeah. Mormon people, cool. But like we're both on that national calls list, and it's like how?
Yeah,
how?
Wait,
we're both redheads.
Oh really? That's cute.
Like we, and like it's just like it's funny. It's just funny because like literally sometimes like what was it? A week ago, I texted him and said, which High School Musical movie was your favorite? And at the exact same time, we texted back number 2.
Oh, wow.
He said number 2, and I said, for me, it's number 2.
2, yeah.
And I literally texted him bye, and he texted me bye at the exact same time. We were like, what's happening? Like, we can't.
Hey, you found a long life friend through that.
Oh my God,
that's
he's
dope.
like my twin brother.
That's real
it's
dope. Yeah.
So like that's what I do like about dating apps is that sometimes it does reconnect you with people. Like I'm so thankful for this reconnection with Chris. We were never super close, but we knew of each other. We had mutual friends. We went to USD. Okay. Like so it was like fun to reconnect with somebody. Yeah. And it was easy for us to establish that.
That's dope.
I hate first dates though. I get so anxious because I never know what people's expectations are. But also like I might have I have expectations too. I have an expectation that I'm going to go in and have a good time. Yeah. And that's not always the case. Yeah. And you have to be okay with that. Yeah. Like I went on a really bad date. I told you a little bit about this. I went on a really bad date. This gentleman like looked at me and told me he hated poor people, which like is just not okay with me.
Yeah, no. When you told me this, I was like, ew, that's disgusting. Literally. Like, that's one thing that would kind of like with the whole dating and stuff. For instance, like for me, I've always been a type of person that I love serious relationships. I don't think ever since I was young, I did get pregnant young at a young age, which was 15. So I already grew up at such a very young age. And so from then on, I never actually I never was in a dating phase ever in my life. I've always had serious relationships and stuff. So it's interesting to me to see like your perspective from my perspective of like, now I'm married. And dating is a little bit different when you're married, you know? And it so is. Not like going back to kind of like the first dates and stuff of like with you, for instance, like, I don't know, like that's interesting to me, like having to like go on all of these first dates, like I don't know, like that would make me freaking nervous.
It does make me nervous, and I'm also somebody that's been engaged recently, right?
Yes.
Like my engagement
ended in October. So you were in a serious long relationship too, so you kind of have both perspectives, right? Yeah.
But like I go into these first dates, and I feel like I have to be really honest about that, like just so you know I was, and maybe I don't, maybe that's not anybody's business, but like for me, I would want to know that. Okay. I would want to know if somebody was recently engaged, right? Like, and so I think like I'm just putting it out there too because I talk about my ex-fiance in a very kind light, and I do feel that way about him. Like he's still on my Instagram. We talked about this one. He's still on my Instagram because that's a part of my life that I'm not ashamed of at all. Like I've said it before. Like I would go back and do it again. I was loved and cared for in a way that like won't be replicated. I get to experience it with somebody new someday, hopefully, right? Yeah. And I get to experience it in a different way. But so I go into these dates and I'm like, if this starts to get serious, I feel like I should be honest about like, I was engaged. Yeah. He was lovely. Yeah. I won't hide that part of my life. And, the right people get it. The right people get it.
Yep. And so I don't think that, I mean, everyone has a different expectations and stuff, but I don't think someone being engaged would like, oh, I don't want to like get with you now because you've been engaged.
Sometimes people do.
That's so weird. Like I
had a man tell me once that like he didn't think I was ready to start exploring anything, which frustrated me because you don't get to tell me when I'm ready. Yeah. But like maybe he wasn't ready.
That's weird. I just processed that. I'm like, wait, someone told you straight up that it's too soon for you to start.
Right. A stranger. No, that is
no one else's business except for yours. What the? Nope.
Mona Lisa, a stranger told me that.
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah.
That's so weird.
No, for real though. Like to me, I mean, each to their own.
But I think it was more back to him dating, reflecting.
So like going back to dating, I kind of want to talk about dating while being married and how sometimes it can be a struggle because when you're married to someone, you get so comfortable and used to them.
Even just long-term relationships.
Long-term relationships where there comes a point where it's like, oh, I'm comfortable. This is just routine. And you kind of forget about each other or like, hey, they're human too. They have needs and wants that are wanting to be met. And so if any of you heard of the roommate phase, I truly think everyone probably goes through this. Yep, through serious relationships or being married. And I think it's really important to be aware of this roommate phase. Because for me, for instance, I'm going to be completely vulnerable. Me and Tyler have been through the roommate phase and it lasted for about 1.5 years. And at first, we weren't aware of it because we were just going through the emotions.
Your routine.
Of routine and relationship. And not only that, we worked with each other.
Right.
Day in and day out. And that actually put a lot of hinge between our romance, because it's like we became more so business partners than like romance. And so for a while, and so for a while, damn it, you got me distracted.
I'm so sorry.
And for a while, we weren't aware of it until it was almost too late, to be quite honest, to the point where like, yo, like, do we even love each other? Or like, why is this feel so dead right now? And so, oh gosh, Tyler just distracted me. He just came in. Dang, I was really in the motions of it.
You were.
But anyway, yeah, it came to that point where our relationship just felt blah. You know, we weren't doing date nights. We weren't being intimate with each other.
Right.
And so, again, going back to it's great to be aware of that phase and have open communication with each other, because then when you go on for so long in that roommate phase, you kind of forget to like to communicate with each other even.
Right. Or just even make the other person feel special.
Yeah. And so
I think that I've been through that a little bit too. My ex-fiance and I lived together for probably about 1 year, maybe even more. And we were definitely like going through our routines and we were just going through the motions. And, you know, I think that was part of why we might have broken up. You know, we were just doing the same thing day and night. But it's so important to be aware of that, because when you start dating someone, you don't just stop dating them, you know? Yeah. You don't just get to stop pursuing them. Yeah. You have to do things to make them feel special. You have to do things to like make yourself feel special in that. But at the same time, I do think that it's important to be okay with the boring days. Yes. And you have to be okay with the lower phases or the more blah phases, because sometimes it gets down to resources. What if you're saving up money for something, right?
Yes, that is very true.
Or what if it's time? You know, what if you're in a really busy phase of your life? Like me right now. I'm so busy with work right now, which is great. I'm finishing up like my wedding season. Yeah. I'm finishing up some special events. And so, you know, just being really intentional with your time as well. Like, I mean, sometimes even you and I will be like, okay, let's talk girl chat. Let's talk THEYSELF. And then we're like, okay, how is Mona as my friend? What's going on in your personal life? Yep. You know? So like even in your friends, you might go through a whole roommate phase. Oh yeah. Especially if you work with them.
Yep, exactly. No, I totally agree with you. We literally actually the other day, I messaged you and I was like, you're like, well, we're going to see each other on Monday. I'm like, I understand that, but I just want like Claire and Mona, no one around us, just wine time, you know? So like, I totally, you know, understand, you know, with the roommate phase. And now going back to like being aware of that when you're in a relationship and coming and sitting down with each other and figuring out, okay, like this is where we're at. Like, how do we overcome this and grow from this? Because too, even in that phase, you guys grow apart in a sense. And it's like, you kind of forget like about each other, like, you know, like you've grown. It's like, who are you? You know, like I don't know you anymore, you know? And so
what's it like with kids? Like, are some days like, okay, it's Tuesday, Tyler, you're dropping this one off here and you're picking up this one there and I'm doing that. Like, what is that like?
Yeah. So it used to be like that. So Tyler and I were really good about like doing 50-50 for the longest time. We didn't have like that traditional gender role of I'm the mom, so I have to care after the kids and you just go out and provide and do that. It's always been 50-50, you know. Monday you pick up the kids, Monday morning you go drop them off, Tuesday morning I go drop them off. But now that, sorry guys, I just burped. Now that things are a little bit different, he works, he has an opportunity, works with preaches, so he's actually away 6 days a week now. And I honestly think that has saved our relationship so much. And so now I kind of take on more.
It's good to have some separation. Yep. It's good to have things that are just your own.
Yeah, I agree.
It's so important.
Yeah, I agree. And so now I kind of take on more of the role of with the kids and, you know, doing
But you go through
drop-offs.
waves. Yep. It's just a
for
wave.
For instance, right now, Tyler is going to pick up Raiden from school right now while we're doing this. And so, like, when he has time, that's one thing I love about Tyler is that he's always so willing to help out with, like, anything and everything. And that's one thing I appreciate about him because I know a lot of couples, and I've talked to couples and married people at that where they don't get that, and they've actually are like, you are lucky. You're lucky that you have a man that actually steps in.
It's just different for every family.
And if I'm being completely honest, like those aren't his blood, you know, kids. And so even in that, people are like, wow, like that's amazing that he stepped up.
So it's so interesting you say this because I grew up with a big family. Or I consider my family big. It's 6 of us. Oh, yeah, so it's my parents. It's my parents, and then it's my 3 sisters and myself. So there's 4 of us girls. So growing up, biologically, my 2 older sisters and myself are not our fathers, but he adopted us. My dad adopted us. And so I get what you're saying with this. Like, you know, it's a big ask, especially when you already have kids. I guess I don't know this personally, but like, I'm assuming it's a big ask to be like, hey, come into my life and here's my kids. I want you to be a part of their lives. Help me raise them, you know?
It's a process.
Like, it's a process. And, you know, my dad adopted us and I love my dad and he's always been my dad. And, you know, I think my sisters and I all feel the same way. But yeah, I mean, there were waves where my mom had to travel a lot for work.
Yeah, really?
She was, she was traveling a ton for work, like my whole middle school.
Oh, wow.
I remember her being gone quite a bit. And I mean, she was working for us, you know?
Yeah.
She was working for my family and my dad was working too. But, you know, like I remember like middle school kind of being like this transitional period where like my dad was probably doing like 70% of the childcare during some of these times where she's gone, you know? Like there would be like 4 days out of a week maybe that she was in Texas for a conference and she was selling things. And like, and that's so great. Like that's so cool that my mom got to travel and like be a boss ass bitch and like make money for her family and stuff. But like, she was gone 4 days out of the week. And so my dad was responsible for taking care of 4 kids.
That's amazing.
You know, there's just waves of that. Yeah. And like my little sister is into competitive soccer now. And, you know, like, sometimes my parents are like, man, like we've been traveling so much, we have to divide and conquer. And so maybe my mom just goes to a tournament or maybe my dad just goes to a tournament, you know? So like, it's definitely a give and take. And
I love that.
You know,
I love that dynamic.
Right. And so it's not always 50-50. And that's great if it is, but it's not always that way. You're going to go through waves. And I mean, just wait till your kids get older and they start getting more involved.
I know.
You know?
I think about
insane?
that
Sometimes
all the time.
I look at Aaliyah and I'm like, she's
a whole
ass person.
I know. Speaking of that,
with a personality,
I
look at her and I'm like,
speaking of that, so she wants to be in Girl Scouts, girl. So
stop, do it. I did Girl Scouts as a kid.
So is it really beneficial? It is. I was looking at it all.
It creates a sense of community. Yep. It creates a sense of you understand like what it takes to work and earn money. And so like they earn money by selling cookies, right? But you earn it for your troop, and then your troop gets to do something together. So we would go on camping trips, or we would learn archery, or we would do baking classes. I mean, it's been a minute since I've been in Girl Scout, but I literally think my membership was $15 a year.
Oh,
and so then all of the money all of the money, things might be different.
Yeah. You're like, girl, I don't know.
I don't know. Don't quote me on this. Things might be different. But you know, like, but then once you're in this, like your group is collectively making money for your troop to go do things. Yeah. I love Girl Scout. I think it's a really great thing to do. Multiple children from different economic backgrounds can be involved in this.
That's amazing.
I think it's a really good way.
We're going to be going to open night here next week.
Do it. I'm a buy some of them Samoas.
I want to get her in that, and then she wants to do gymnastics. So I'm going to start doing and I think it's really beneficial for kids to be in stuff.
I think it's really healthy too for kids to be involved in multiple different things.
Yeah. No, I totally agree, but no, there I go, freaking coughing. Gosh, my bad, guys. No, but like kind of going back to relationships and dating as a single woman and as a married woman. I know I kind of talked about, you know, the roommate phase and stuff, and so now that we've kind of figured out, like, okay, how do we move forward from this? Speaking, you know, from my own experience, spicing up your relationship is a must in your relationship, whether that's going out, date nights weekly. It's crazy because at first too, for the longest, me and Tyler were both like, oh, like date nights, like, oh, so cheesy. But no,
they're necessary. No, they're necessary.
It's the excitement of getting ready for each other.
Getting out the house.
Yes, the excitement of getting, ready for each other, looking sexy for each other, and then going out and having an experience with just like husband and wife is so amazing and beneficial. And so we started going on date nights every single week. We do it every week.
I love that. What's your date night this week?
Okay. So we
on the spot.
Yeah, I'm like, dang. So I actually messaged him 2 days ago and I was like, date night, either tonight, it won't be tonight, or Tuesday night. And just we like to go downtown and go out to eat, or like we like going to like Hello High.
I love the Hello
Carpenter. And just grabbing something, or sometimes we'll do movies. Or walk downtown and just do stuff like that. Or like one night we got all ready and then we just went out and took photos at nighttime because that's what we like doing. We like being creative and stuff. And so
just so fun too that like you guys were like capturing each other through like your own lenses.
Yeah, that is so true. See, I didn't even realize that, but yeah, that is so
me being like, oh, it's so romantic.
Yeah, that is so true.
It's fun though.
Yeah,
and I think it's important too. Like, I mean, I'm such a person that like my time, I want to protect it, right? I don't have a lot of free time. And so like with the gentleman I'm currently dating right now,
just kidding. You guys, if you're not watching video, you should have just seen what I did. But anyway,
he's so cute. He's so kind. He is almost busier than me. He probably is busier than me, which is so awesome because like I'm a busy person. And so it's so
and then you
refreshing.
Don't feel guilty for it.
No, I don't feel guilty for it. But like yesterday, for example, we hung out with each other that was the first time we hung out since last Monday.
Oh, wow.
So yesterday was the first time we got to hang out and we were exhausted. We were both so tired. He had just gotten done traveling from work. I had just gotten done with all my events. And so we literally were like, let's go grab lunch and then let's go take a nap. Yeah. And that's what we did. And like, that's so nice. But then like, I'm sure like next week we'll like actually go out, you know?
It just depends on.
It just depends on what it is. And so when I'm actively pursuing someone and I'm actively dating someone, I try to do little things that would like make them feel good, you know, like so that it looks like, it's not that it looks like, but that they know that I'm still actively interested in them, especially with him and I, like we're both so busy. And so like I work downtown and he lives downtown. So like one of these days I'll probably just like call him and be like, hey, can I run a coffee up?
Oh, see.
You know, or like look out your window and maybe I'll have a sign that says like,
see, I love that.
You know, like just little things
like
that.
Cute things. Yeah. Like for me,
I gave him flowers.
Yeah, you did.
I gave him a beautiful bouquet of flowers.
That is so cute.
And he came out and was like,
yeah, it's just, and too like, giving a man flowers is so different,
It is different. Did you know, like, I don't fully quote me on this, but like 70% of men, I believe, receive their first bouquet of flowers at their funeral, which is a huge problem.
Honestly, I think you just gave me an idea.
Yeah.
That's crazy though. No, that's really
Isn't that crazy? Because not that long ago, I gave Quentin, one of our mutual friends, Quentin, a bouquet of flowers, and he was holding it and he was looking at me like, what do I thank you?
Yeah,
like what do I do?
I think it's just because society thinks that like flowers are feminine. They're supposed to be for the woman, but no,
they're beautiful. If you think of them as like a piece of art,
too. Yeah,
like they're beautiful.
Yeah.
Like I feel good when somebody gives me a bouquet of flowers. So why wouldn't anyone feel good? And Quentin like told me like, thank you.
Wow.
And he was like, I've never, like, this is my first bouquet. And that's kind of like cute for me. Like, oh my God, like I just gave Quentin his first bouquet of flowers. He's going to remember that.
Yeah. That's dope. Yeah.
And it's important just to like show your friends that you care about them and to spice things up by giving somebody a flower. You don't always have to physically spice it up.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Keep talking, please.
Okay, yes, I will.
I will be right back, guys. I have to go press record on the camera.
We're going.
How's that bagel?
This bagel is so good. I love Bagel Boy. Bagel Boy is like one of my go-tos for multiple things. Like I'm hungover, I want Bagel Boy. I need a quick snack, I want Bagel Boy. I am hungry and I want to just like eat out and have it be affordable. I want Bagel Boy. It's high quality for an affordable price, which I love. Yeah. So peace and love. Einstein Bagels. You're going to see me at Bagel Boy because it's local and I like them. My girl Jasmine made them for me today.
Oh, hey. Well, thank you, Jasmine. Yeah, no, but going back to spicing up your relationship, it's so important. And I also I love just sending cute text messages to Tyler throughout the day.
You have to flirt. You have got to continue to flirt in your relationship. You have to continue to flirt.
We flirt every single day, and it's just so amazing. Like, it seriously is, and
it's so fun.
No, so I think that, and I also think too, I'm gonna be extremely vulnerable, is you have to be intimate with your spouse. Like, you cannot forget about the physical intimacy between the relationship, because men need that, and women need that too. I'm not just saying men, but like, you need that to continue to feel connected with each other, you know? And when you lose that, it's like, man, it sucks. Like, it seriously sucks, dude. And
I'm kind of weird.
I'm gonna be complete. You know, I'm a horny woman. You know, like, if I could have sex 3 times a day, I would. And I know that's extremely vulnerable.
You gotta schedule that out on your Google Calendar.
I sent Tyler a meme. And it was like three times a day. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That's all I need. And I was like, see, babe? Like, look. He's like, you are a freak.
That is so funny. But you're right. It is important. And like, even if you can't sexually, let's just say your libido's down for a day. You know, like, I mean, consent looks different in relationships, right? And
even a massage with the candles,
or like really
music.
Just like snuggle up, or like some skin to skin, or just like even tickling each other's backs before bed. Like, that is so important, and it's just nice.
Yeah, no,
it feels good to like. It's different for everyone, but like, it feels good. Like, the gentleman that I'm currently dating, like, it makes me feel really good in public when like he reaches for my hand.
Yes,
or maybe he's like, we were at the bars not that long ago with his friends, and like, you know, we were getting a little tipsy, and like, he squeezed my booty, and I was like, oh, he thinking about me. Oh, he see me. You know, like, it feels nice. You know, it feels good to like be physically touched by somebody you really enjoy.
I agree. In your relationships, what would you say your love language is?
Ooh, okay. So first of all, we need them all, right?
Yes. Oh, I agree.
We need them all. I'm a huge words of affirmation person. My friends, I think that it would be safe for me to say that you constantly know where I stand with you and how I feel about you.
And I love that.
Right.
I love that.
And so I'm a big, like, I give a lot of words of affirmation. I'm a gift giver. I just gave my best friend JC her birthday present last night.
I love that.
She was so funny. She opened it and she was like, oh my God, you're so cute. This makes me want to like die less. And I just started laughing, and I was just like, JC, and she goes, you know what I mean, you know, like, and you know, we talk about our mental differently, and so that was appropriate within our dynamic. And but you know, like, it's so like, I'm a big gift giver. I really enjoy.
Do you like receiving gifts?
I mean, who doesn't? But like, I don't mind. Like, that's not why I'm friends with somebody, or like why I'm hoping we're celebrating something to get a gift. But I like to, with JC, for example, she's one of my best friends, and she's got beautiful hair. I love her hair. I kind of almost have like a little bit of hair envy, because I know I will never have her Victoria's Secret luscious locks, you know? Yeah. And so it's really fun for me to go into a store. So I was in Colorado for my sister's wedding. I went into a store and I was just looking through stuff, and I found like this really cute hairpin. And I was like, oh my gosh, I should grab this for JC. And so I did, and I gave it to her, and she was like, oh my gosh, sis, like, I love this. This is amazing. Thank you so much. Yeah. And then like, now it's exciting to me that someday I will get to see her wear it, and it's like, I know her well enough to pick something out for her that I know she will enjoy, and that's like an extension of our relationship.
Yeah,
it's like a physical, tangible extension of our friendship.
I've never thought of gift giving like that.
That clip was $8. Wow. You know, it's not like I'm dropping like thousands of dollars and being like, here's a brand new car or whatever. You know, like, it's fun. Like, $8 made me think of my friend, and now she enjoys it, and now she's gonna wear it, and then that's gonna make me be like, oh my God, my friend thought of me this morning when she put it in. Yeah. And it's just like the cycle, you know, like, we get each other, we know each other. I don't know.
That's beautiful. I've really never thought of gift giving that way, because that's actually one of my least things for my love language. And my first two are acts of service and words of affirmation. I love those two. I love knowing for example, especially in my relationship, like when Tyler does things for me, it makes me feel like, wow, he really cares about me and I feel safe.
Right.
And then words of affirmation, I need that every day, okay? I'm like, tell me I'm beautiful.
Right.
You know?
And that's fine.
Tell me my butt looks good.
Right. It feels good. And just to know that you're appreciated.
Yep,
I would say that I don't actively feel like I need to receive gifts back as much. It's just something that I do. Acts of service are also one of my, like, I love that being done for me. Like,
even in my friendships, I think too. Right. Like, I mean, this goes for any type of relationship.
Well, and so the gentleman that I'm seeing, we hung out yesterday and he was just like, can I pick you up? And I was like, yes, you can. And then I asked him, because he lives downtown, we went and ate downtown. So I was like, do you want me to come? And he was like, it doesn't matter to me. And I had a weekend of just making decisions, like a long ass weekend of just making decisions, like having to be on top of it for work. And so I just like texted him back and was like, I really just don't want to make decisions.
Yeah.
And so he made every decision for me, which was so nice. Like
you did not have to think about it.
Right. So he came and he picked me up and he was like, this is where we're going. And then that place was closed. So he was like, alrighty, let's just walk over here.
Masculine energy.
And like, yeah. And like, it was just nice to not have to like think about, because I knew what we were doing, obviously. Like, it wasn't a surprise. I don't really like surprises, but like, it wasn't a surprise. I knew what we were doing, but like, it was nice that he just like took the lead on like, okay, this is what we're going to do within like the boundaries that we had set already, which was so nice. And so like, even that is almost an act of service.
Yeah. Speaking of that, how you just allowed him to take lead. I think that's very important. I feel
so good with him.
I think that's very important in relationships with, you know, a man and a woman, allowing your man to take charge and be lead and be in his masculine energy is actually very, very sexy. For so long, I wouldn't allow that because I was in myself in my masculine energy and I didn't allow my feminine because I didn't trust at all. And so recently I've been, you know, allowing myself to be like, I'm going to get in my feminine energy. Right. I'm going to let him take the lead. I'm going to let him, you know, take charge of things. And it's been extremely amazing. It makes me actually feel a lot more safer and connected in the relationship. And you wouldn't think that at first because I feel like a lot of women, when they are in their masculine energy, it's because they don't feel secure or they feel like if they lose that control, then they're going to be extremely submissive in their feminine energy. And me personally, I think you can work both in your masculine and your feminine and have it balanced out in a relationship. For me personally, everyone can be different. I'm learning that for what works better for my relationship is I'm more so in my feminine energy and I allow myself to be a little bit more submissive to my husband, and that's been amazing. Yeah.
And I mean, that just works for certain people. And like for me, for example, with this gentleman I'm dating, we've only been dating for about 4 weeks, and we're realizing that we're very similar. And like, oh my goodness, I didn't even tell you this, but yesterday we had like taken a nap, and then we woke up and we were putting our glasses on, and he was like, "Oh, let me see your glasses," and we swapped each other's glasses, which if you don't wear glasses or you don't know this, when you put somebody else's prescription on, it's typically like an instant headache, you're seeing foggy, whatever. We put each other's glasses on and we sat there in silence for like 2 seconds and we both started laughing. Mona, our prescriptions are almost identical. I was like, I could literally wear your glasses out. Like I could drive home. We were laughing so hard.
That is funny. That's
but it's like so funny. It was so random. But he and I are both really strong individuals, and we like really appreciate being individuals within a relationship too. And so I think that's like what makes us very cohesive in a sense as well, because like we get it. We don't have to explain it to anyone. I don't have to explain to you why I want you to make the decisions today. He gets it, you know? And like, there's just this we've only been dating for 4 weeks, but there's this very good understanding of like this balance. And like, you know, he's a very soft individual, but he's like strong at the same time. He's very intentional with how he touches me, how he talks to me, how he spends his time with me. Like it's all very intentional, and it's like this beautiful balance.
I think that's masculine too, though.
It is masculine, but it's also feminine in like the sense of he's like, Claire needs this, and so I have to pull back so she can take the lead on that, you know?
Yeah, and I want to say this too. I strongly think too, you can be feminine and still be a powerful person.
Oh, absolutely.
And I wanted to say that because I don't want people to take it the wrong way. What I said, like, oh, submissive, because that's another thing. Women think submissive and they think all of their control is taken away.
Right.
No, that's not what I'm saying at all. You can be submissive to your partner and also still be a strong individual, also still be independent.
And there's just a place and time.
Yes. Again, it depends on what it is. And and going back to dating and stuff as a married woman, having that independence too. When it comes to your relationship, that allows you guys to miss each other. That allows you guys to be excited. That's what I was just gonna say. Be excited, because when you're with each other all the time, it goes downhill. Trust me. Been there, done that. Never going to do that again, and never going to put my marriage in that situation again. But no, I wanted to say that real quick because I didn't want people to be like, oh,
I think
submissive. No control.
There's just different levels. Being submissive is a spectrum.
Yeah.
If you think of it that way. I mean, for example, this podcast, I was just like, okay, Mona, like we're going to go into this and you're taking the lead. Right? That's fine. Like that is, in a sense, I'm submitting to you to an extent, you know? And so it's just like it's like situational. But
I'm over here eating.
No, the bagels are good.
They're so good. No, I totally agree. Yeah. I think through all of this, to kind of like wrap this up, is like, if you're married, continue to date and be aware of when you guys are going through phases of the roommate phase or not really liking each other. Because let's be honest, we're all human, and there's times where it's like, I don't freaking like you, you know?
Like,
but at the end of the day, love is a commitment, and love is not a feeling. Like in the beginning, all of that adrenaline and what's that word?
Like tension. There's like the buildup,
the honeymoon phase. You know, that's gonna wear off, guys. Again, love is a commitment, and you have to work at that every single day, whether you are in a relationship or friendship too. You know,
you wake up and you've decided that you've committed yourself and some of your time to this person. Even in just a friendship, like you have to actively pick up the phone. It goes both ways.
I agree.
You have to actively pick up the phone. So like in relationships, you have to actively do your part.
Yeah, I agree.
And sometimes people fail.
Yeah. No, this was good. I really like this podcast. I hope you guys took something from this podcast. I'm about to cough. Oh no. And we hope you guys are having a great week, and welcome back to the Girl Chat podcast with Mona and Chloe.